Sunflowers Radio by Operator.
Hello. Oh,
It's on, right?
testing. Can you hear yourself?
No.
Hello, hello. Oh, there you go. Sorry.
Better? Yes.
The mics are always a bit tricky at the start.
Oops.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Sunflowers by Operator. I'm Pema.
And I'm Catherine. Welcome, everybody.
This is a new series that Operator is starting. You might have already seen a few events here and there, but as a development of the series, we've decided to start a radio show, a bi-monthly radio show, hosted by Catherine and I.
Yeah, and the show will be, of course, like a complement to many other things that Sunflowers is preparing. From events, workshops, etc. But yeah, we thought it would be a nice addition because I guess it kind of brings it back to the core of what Operator is.
Which is radio. Operator Radio. But you might recognize us from the 8th of March. We made a show on Women's Day called Beyond Women's Day, which ties very deeply with our project here. Beyond,
say it was our episode 0.
It was our trial episode, basically, where we're just getting comfortable with hosting here and the whole concept of this. And Beyond Women's Day was kind of to look into the more experimental side of electronic of music and kind of focusing on Flinta artists. And it went really well, and we enjoyed it. So we've decided to kind of keep it rolling from there on. Maybe Kat can kind of remind us about what the term Flinta is and kind of how we got there.
Yeah, so basically how it started is that a few months ago we had a discussion with several people from the team of Operator, thinking like, okay, we want to continue to do more Sunflowers events and workshops and just overall projects around it. And that spurred a discussion around the inclusivity that we want to have within Sunflowers. And also because Sunflowers started as something different, it went through different names, but intention and mission was overall going along through time. We decided on the term Flinta, which is a term that is getting more and more popular. I also already talked about it on the episode that we did last time, but I kind of wanted to touch upon it a bit more today. Flinta, like letter per letter, means female, lesbian, intersex, non-binary, transgender, and agender. And it's a term that I think it originated like a bit before the 90s, but this is where it really like became as a whole, like each letter like that in the 90s in Germany. And this is also why there's differences in translations. For example, like in English, we translate the F to female, but in reality in German it's woman. So making a difference between sex and gender, which we don't have in English, which makes the English term maybe a bit flawed. And overall, there's many discussions and criticisms that can be done around the term. I know that certain people reject it, or at least make nuances about it. And I guess this is also what we would like to do in that sense. And that using the term Flinta, it was mostly because it overall fitted the most our idea. Because, for example, the inclusion of a sexual orientation in there for some people does not make sense. It does not have its place here. But then if we're talking about Flinta spaces, in that case it could make sense because it's maybe a reason of safety, that because of your sexual orientation you want to be safer in a certain space. But then if we're not talking about a space anymore and something more virtual, then maybe it's also a bit different. And there's also that issue of inclusivity of people that maybe do not look look masculine. It's just just a matter of how you present yourself, and that you might seem like you do not belong to that space when actually you do, and there can be several assumptions being done, etc., etc. But our idea was to just make the show more inclusive, beyond women, as the last episode.
Wink, wink. And I think it's also important to note that this series had a different name before Sunflowers. It was called the Women's Series. At some point the X was crossed out, but as the conversation and the discourse develops and changes, we also believe that we kind of need to change the way that we talk about it and the way that we present about it, which is also why we internally had kind of a conversation. Okay, what are we actually trying to do? What is our mission? Our mission is to be as inclusive as it can while still being true to who we are as a team. So the Sunflowers team is mostly made up of cis women, but we also want to create the space. So like, how can we do that? And that's why we decided to take on the term Flinta, because we thought that we could create a space with this term and kind of see how this whole concept of sunflowers can develop through that. So
yeah, because even if originally it was oriented towards women, the E, and you would think it has more of a feminist approach to it. The thing is that in the end, what we want to be about is about fighting a certain gender injustice, and that gender injustice is not just lived by women. And so
exactly.
it's just about breaking a certain narrative about gender, and let's see.
And also, I think it's important to highlight that both Kat and I are really into the more experimental side of music and electronic music, and there's a lot of overlap with like Flint artists and people kind of challenging binaries and the gender binaries and experimental music, and there's just like so much there that's so beautiful and so great, to the point where Kat actually found a really good book that connects all of this. So this is a really good segue to that.
It's kind of funny because this book got out last week, but I heard about it like a few weeks ago and was of course like available for pre-orders, etc. But at that time when I heard about it, it was for an NTS show with Alain Colombi inviting the author and the publisher and also artist that is involved in that platform on which it is released. And it felt maybe kind of like a cheat. Kind of way too convenient that suddenly this book comes out.
Or you just materialized it.
Yeah, exactly.
Manifestation.
Like, I thought about it and then suddenly was like, oh my god, someone wrote it. But yeah, it's a really, really nice book. I only got it a few days ago. It arrived in post, so haven't read it. But it's also not really a book that you read. It's just a recollection of many artists. So the title of the book, maybe I'll start with this: Women, Trans and Non-Binary in Experimental Music, Basta Now. Basta Now is like the main title.
Yeah.
That is only, I started the other way around. Yes, by Fanny Chiarello. And yeah, overall, it's kind of funny to see. My first impression of it was that actually in the Netherlands we're quite lucky because so many of the artists mentioned I've seen perform, or at least on a lineup somewhere in the Netherlands. So that makes it really nice. And there's also so many artists that we played at our last episode or that we're going to play. And it also makes a lot of sense that Pema and I are doing this show because I think music-wise we have so much overlap and a similar approach in the way we look for music or what we like in music.
But still a little bit different.
Yeah, still, and it's in a way that keeps it interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really nice.
So yeah, and I think, I don't know how it went for you, but when I was looking for music for the first episode, like our episode 0, it was also really rewarding to see that, okay, actually there is a reason why we're doing this, is because even myself, when I was thinking like, okay, now I have to find an artist within maybe more experimental music because it's more what we like, but of course experimental doesn't mean anything, but it means everything and nothing. Yeah. But yeah, I also had assumptions from in the first place, thinking like, oh, is it gonna be like really difficult? And actually, yeah, you realize bullshit, it really isn't. Yeah. There's so many.
So for anybody who can't put plenty of people on the lineup, we're looking at you. You're obviously not looking hard enough. But yeah, we also wanted to kind of touch upon events during the show, but a lot of the events that were interesting to us already happened in the past. However, well, Guess Who just dropped their lineup, and it's really interesting. I always thought that Guess Who has a very interesting lineup, but I've never been there because it's too expensive. Which is also actually they're putting up this kind of trial right now where they want to give access to more people that can't afford it. So I really want to go this year, and I think we wanted to highlight some stuff that we're excited about on the lineup, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the moment to buy the tickets. I think the tickets got out yesterday.
Oh, really? Oh, so we're really on top of it.
Gotta be fast.
Yeah. I know that Crystal Mess is having a stage this year, which is really cool. Yeah. And they programmed Kim Gordon, which is awesome. Kim Gordon, who was part of Sonic Youth and who makes Trap Now.
And somehow both of us today brought a song by Kim Gordon without consulting
each other. So maybe we can play a little Kim Gordon track if you have it ready, Kat. Yeah. Go for it.
This is I Don't Miss My Mind.
I don't miss my mind. Doctors and nurses, tingling eye, bleeding inside. Touch me there. That's a modern pose. Modern pose, yeah. My romanticism porn, breathless, stressful, Rista, loveliness, just, that's the mess. Walk on to the other side. Power flower, greener than green, stepped on nothing. Know what I mean? The color water, electric mirror. Turn it on, turn it off. Jack it up, make it up. Pack it up, trade it up. Suck it up. Fuck it up. Let's be lazy. Sundays, stranded in this paradise. Industry, nothing. I'll trade you for an air. Drywall for days. Drywall for, yeah. But don't turn on the water. Only feel, I don't miss my mind. Drop in my eye. Crying in the subway. Remembering the day. The liquid kiss. You don't exist. Your money breathes. I feel the leaks. Yeah. Industry of nothing now. Chuck it up, make it up, pack it up, trade it up, suck it up, surprise me up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up. What am I? Just not a girl. A woman. Give me a finger. Trigger, trigger. I'm not down still. I'm not down still. Pull from the inside, and all the feelings will harder. Being a maniac. Lies which explode. Lies which flow. What was the last thing you said? I suppose, if possible, I write back for some unending sound towards a few words falling across the round. Golden table room. You take a bite out of the apple first. You take a bite. You take a bite in a country dress. You love the new. You're roaming. You're roaming. And you don't see the tree.
So that was Paprika Pony by Kim Gordon. I really, really, really like her new stuff. I think it's very fun and very trappy and very cool. And I love that she's still making music. Sonic Youth was one of the most iconic, still is, bands of all time. So it's amazing to see that she's still out there being a queen.
Yeah, and in a way it's because a lot of the lyrics are quite funny. I mean, there's from the new album there's this whole song about like, do you want to bowl with me, go bowling with me. Another one goes like as if being irritated by someone who's like, did you buy this in a gift shop? Yeah, I don't know, it's just funny lyrics that I really enjoy. And it doesn't apply to all the songs, of course.
Yeah.
And some of them, of course, even if it's corny or quirky, then it has another dimension to it. But it kind of takes a bit of a relief on that. And but yeah, of course, she's Kim Gordon. It's not like she has to prove anything.
Definitely
but
not.
There's definitely this dimension of maybe Flint artists that need to maybe prove something or write something that is a bit more intelligent or something. And yeah, I also enjoy when you see that artists go away from that and they realize that they actually don't always have to. And
Yeah, exactly. So now, I think we're just gonna kind of walk through some tracks that we've been really enjoying and that we've been kind of digging recently. We've got a few things ready. We'll talk about them here and there. If you listen to the first episode in March, you know how it goes.
Yeah. So that was Challenge, in parentheses, to be continued too, in Roman letters. Yeah, that was by Jaylin, who I saw perform at Rewire with Florence Stowe, and I think, yeah, in the next things that I'm going to show, there's a lot of artists that I saw at Rewire. Actually, Pema also was with me, so
I was also there.
yeah, I was there.
I mean, if you love experimental music, I mean, Rewire, everybody knows it's just like one of the best festivals you can possibly go to. Their lineups are always so ahead and they're so good. And this year was a lot bigger than all the previous years. And I was really overwhelmed by the amount of artists I wanted to see, and I
It was insane.
didn't even
yeah.
scratch the surface of it. So
And it's also nice to just at some point go to something random, and there's a few songs I'm going to play a bit later that are exactly things that I saw at Rewire, where I took that approach of just like, oh, I'm around the corner, let's just walk in and see, and then you see the most incredible thing that you've seen in a while, and it feels really good. And it's also, I mean, the reason why we're having a lot of Rewire things here is also because so when we had our show beginning of March, obviously we were already planning so like our official kickoff of Sunflowers, and Rewire happened early April. So around that time we're like having the first talks about this episodes. So then it was kind of like, damn, is it too late? Like, can we still talk about it? Is it,
because you were like really kind of documenting it and really like excited about it, and then you're like, oh no, all this material for nothing. So we thought we'd still kind of slip some Rewire in here, even though Rewire was like what, in April.
But it's fine.
It's like a month.
It's also the Rewire spirits follows you
anywhere
all
you
year
go.
long.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you come back from Rewire and just like, life is dull. Nothing matters
until next year.
Until next year, exactly.
But yeah, some more highlights from Kat for the next few.
Yeah. So there was Fear by Venus Ex Machina. That was also at Rewire, but I missed.
Oh.
I don't know if you did. Were you there?
I was not.
Well, it was still on my list, so
Yeah,
still
yeah.
worth
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff at Rewire that I highlighted, but I don't know. It's really, it's a real thing like that. The Rewire anxiety of wanting to catch every act, but then then you just have to leave every act early, and then you don't have time to actually enjoy the act, and you feel disrespectful. It's a whole thing. It's a whole mental state.
But then again, like if you are in front of part and it's packed and people are queuing, then there is always what was the venue in front of it?
I don't remember.
Anyway, doesn't matter. But there's always that one venue in front of it, and also one that is around the corner at Concordia that actually always hosts amazing stuff.
Yeah,
and I have something
go for
that
it.
I can
Go
play
for it,
now
absolutely.
by Laura Ortman. I looked a bit more into Laura Ortman because it was exactly that experience where you're just walking into a room and you just say like, okay, wow, this is different, this is really good.
That's not. Is that the violin lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her.
You were there. Yeah, true.
Was she like kicking the? Oh, I don't know what she was
and
kicking.
plucking very violently.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And I read this interview about her, like describing her music as making music bleed, and I thought, this is
you
pretty
really
much
see that. Yeah,
and
you
it seems
really
like there's
see
this
that.
sense of urgency. Something's gonna
Explode.
happen. yeah. So this is Salt River Canyon, and I mean, a lot of the things that I selected today, actually, I was maybe in a different mood, a bit more soft. I missed out a lot on the very noisy things.
Yeah, I think waking up to because we were texting, we were like, are we going to play ambient? And then we woke up and it was just raining, and we were just like, let's just keep it like quite soft and quite cozy.
Yeah.
So that was Bed of Sand by Clara Lewis and Yuki Tsuji. I also opened with one of their tracks called 2008, which just got released on their, I think it's an EP or an album, called Saltwater, released on Trilogy Tapes. And it's a new project with the two artists. Very beautiful, very kind of melodic guitar, like harsh noises. They also use film scores. Super beautiful. I found it a few weeks ago and I'm obsessed. And they're actually also playing at Guess Who, which was like a very strange coincidence. But yeah, I don't know exactly where they're based. I think somewhere between Sweden, Japan, London is what I found online. But yeah, you should check it out. Really, really beautiful release.
Yeah, now let's go on with another track of mine called Obsession, Addiction, and the Aristotelian Curve. A bit nerdy. But yeah, so that's a track by Pamela Z that I discovered on that NTS show that I was mentioning. Did I? Maybe I was only saying it to you privately. Okay. The Elena Colombi's NTS show that invited Fanny Chiarello and Valentina Magaletti. I also admire a lot, and so yeah, that was also mentioned in the book then that I was mentioning earlier, Basta Now, that you can buy on Rush Hour, by the way. It's out now, and yeah, it was by Pamela Z, who uses her voice a lot, musical production, and this is also like a way in which the book is organized, which I really like. It goes kind of in categories, so it starts from like artists that focus around nature, and then there's something about the body that kind of goes into using the mouth and vocals, and then slowly going into using language, and then different languages, mixing different languages together, etc., etc. So there's a progression in the book that I really, really like, and this is Pamela Z that I discovered through that book. I hope you'll like it.
So this was On What Remains Unseen by Martina Basta. This was actually released on compilation called For Palestine by Parallax Editions from Barcelona. This compilation was made by Danya, who owns the label, who's actually an Arab woman who also is an emergency medicine doctor and who works with urgent aid and stuff. And she made this compilation to get funding for Médecins Sans Frontières. This was already released in November, but I think that with what's happening right now in Palestine, it's still important to donate as much as you can and, find ways to help even if things seem really, really grim right now. It's a really, really beautiful compilation with over 60 tracks. It's only €20 and it has tracks by artists I really love and that I actually mentioned in the last show, like Moise, Claire Rousset, and also Nick Leon. So I would urge you to check it out because I think it's really worth it. And on the same note, I found this beautiful project from Belgium that focuses on interpreting Palestinian songs called Love, Marriage, Lullaby, Nostalgia, and Children Palestinian songs interpreted by international artists singing for Palestine. This is a compilation that was already made in 2011, but I think when this fucking genocide is happening, one important thing to hold on to is the Palestinian culture and the songs that kind of represents joy and happiness. So I thought that I would showcase one of their songs as well. And it's also a folk song, and I love folk songs, so here you go.
All right, thanks, Pema. We had a lot of things that we wanted to mention beforehand, and that, of course, with the flow of how things goes, we forgot a few. First thing that we wanted to say is that actually, with the kickoff of the Sunflowers radio show, we also kicked off the Instagram page of Sunflowers overall. So it's also going to include everything else that Sunflowers is going to do beyond the shows. And yeah, our page is up.
And we're going to, we just saw that Lawrence asked about the track list, and we're going to post all the tracks that we played and also the things that we mentioned, like the book. And this will be an ongoing thing where if we mention something on the show, you will probably see it on the Instagram.
Events, etc. Because
yeah, exactly.
Overall, this is what the aim of the show is, right? Like to showcase and highlight and yeah. The page is operator.sunflowers. I'm saying the Z at the end. Yeah, plural, sunflowers, plural. Yeah. And also, one thing that was also really exciting about starting the show is that, well, first of all, doing it with you, since we're like both volunteers here and good friends. It also started internally because the idea came off from a meeting that we had between each other from the team, and we also decided, you know what, we also need a jingle because that's not just good enough a show. We need also a jingle, a separate one for us. And we asked Annika, who's also one of our volunteers, good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, and so the process actually happened quite internally, and that was really nice as well. You're also taking care of the artworks.
Everything is very internal, which is amazing.
Lovely.
Yeah. And Annika did a very beautiful job on the jingles.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you might have heard some of Annika's shows on Operator, and she also did shows on Maxi or...
she's killing it right now.
At Pip Radio and all, which are really nice. But Operator under Amani M. And so this is the jingle, but this one is with other vocal parts. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so now we're kicking off the second part of the show, which we're really, really excited about. We're welcoming a guest, but not just any guest. We have Ofra with us, who is, as I think a lot of the listeners might know, one of Operator's co-founders and also the initiators of this whole women's series that started at Operator. And we're really excited actually to have her over for the first show, because it made sense in the end to talk about, like, okay, where do we start from? We're starting from Operator, just us in the container in the studio. Where do we go from now? But actually, it's also a good way to look back about where all of this started from, and also to reflect simply on her career, all her accomplishments, projects, and experiences. And I think that will give us a lot of nice insights. So,
Hi.
Hey. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit more?
Well, I want to point out that I initiate. Hello. Welcome.
It's a hard word, huh?
It's a hard word.
I noticed this as well.
Good morning. Wow. So I also did it with Andrea, and also volunteering for a long time for our Operator as well. So I want to give a shout out to Andrea as well. So
true, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Who's also in the chat, I saw. Hi, Andrea.
Hello.
Yeah, so that need to be said.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I wasn't sure actually how it all started, because there was also times where I wasn't in Rotterdam yet, I think. So
well, she was already there, and we talked about it, that we want to do something for most for female artists, but also for females in the industry as well. So not only artists, but also people want to work in the industry as a promoter, or for creatives. So that's how we started the idea that I wanted to do this. Also because there's a nice bridge to my history. I also started as a local promoter, actually, in the industry. So as a female local promoter, and there weren't a lot of female promoters, I have to say. So I started at different venues, and from there I organized my own events at Rotterdam as well, more wavy. The genre was more wavy, experimental kind of events, and that's how I started, actually.
And around when was that exactly?
I think that was 2009-ish or something. Yes.
And was there like quite a scene as well for the wavy experimental stuff back then? How was the kind of landscape back then? Well, in Rotterdam it was more you had like the electronic part, the dance part, club scene, and the live scene, and I was part of both, actually. So because I love, and still
I love punk music, live music a lot, next to dance music. So it began actually when I watched MTV when I was very little.
Amazing.
And saw a lot of bands and but also when Eurodance was growing, was in the 90s, because I was born in 85 and I grew up in the 90s. Growing up in the 90s, listened to a radio a lot, and so I watched MTV a lot. So a lot of then the Eurodance came up, and and also I remember a video from The Prodigy that I was very drawn into. Was No Good. I remember was in this ceiling, and it was so raw, and so that's how I started to listen to more and more to electronic music through tapes from my brother, and he had like a lot of cassettes with house music, and so that's how it started. But also next to that, I listened to a lot of bands, and and that's how I started to. I wanted to promote them myself, to share music with people.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how was it to be a female promoter back then? Was that even like a thing that you were like a female promoter? Or was it like, oh, you're just a promoter?
No, like people point it out all the time. Like, hey, there are not a lot of female promoters here in the Netherlands. Most of the time, the females were most of the time they did production or marketing, communication. But so a lot of people told me that, like, who are in the scene for a longer time than I am. Like, hey, it's there are not a lot of female promoters, and then I think after a while, more and more female promoters popped up, and felt like, hey, I can do this as well, and I want to book bands and also with DJing was this at the same time I started DJing, and because of this fascination for sharing music and wanted to share music. I was the one from my group of friends that always was the one that said, you have to listen to this new band and listen to this new CD. It's amazing. And, pushing it through like all the time. So, I think that's also the main reason why I started DJing and wanted to share music, and not only in a venue, but also through DJing, and trying to reach more people with it, and to share beautiful artists. And also back then I was like one of the first female DJs. Well, not the first, of course, but because it was already
ever.
I was the first. Oh my god!
But in the
no one knows
scene.
that. But I was the first. No.
But in the Rotterdam scene, it sounds like you were kind of like very, very early.
Yeah. Well, you had like Marjolein Slick Chick, and I was such a fan of her. Still.
Yeah.
And she's such a good DJ and technical as well. Like, very intrigued by her technical skills and her selection of tracks. And so I started DJing, and my first DJ name was DJ 155, my height.
That's amazing. I love that.
So yeah.
It's funny because I feel like because of our generation now, we're thinking like 155 BPM.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah. No, I think the maximum that I played was 115 or something, 120. Not that fast, to be honest, but 155, yeah. And then I met Elke Verschoor on the dance floor. She became my friend, and we talked about music all the time. And she used to play a bit, but with her ex-boyfriend. But and then, we thought like maybe we should play together sometime. And we made a mixtape at first, and then suddenly we were booked everywhere, and then we had Slick Chick, Hollywood and Vina was our DJ name. And it was around 2011. And Strange Boutique, that's Nicole Martens, and Femke Dekker, Lumadome. So there were a couple of female DJs already, but I think we were always like the only one on the lineup next to a lot of male DJs, I have to say. And the way they promoted us was always, I have to say that, I don't want to complain a lot, but yeah, I have to admit, it was like always like they're also nice to look at, and they're not. Yeah,
Ew.
really. Yes. I can find it. It was like on a lot of flyers back then. It was always like Hollywood and Vine, and always such a like pretty girls to look at as well.
It was
and
on the flyers.
yes,
That's crazy.
And that was a norm.
yeah, it happened a lot, and we were annoyed by it, of course.
Yeah.
But also we thought, okay, yeah, whatever. But thinking of it now, I'm like, what the fuck, It's like, no,
Yeah.
you can't say that.
No,
of course.
absolutely not.
Yeah, no. So, and also we felt like, yeah, we were also, didn't feel like to explore a lot in the way we dress, or how to say that, to express ourselves. I'm sorry, yeah, you have to be like still, and the DJs, the underground scene was kind of, just play good music and don't do too much.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, like don't even. Why do you care about how you look like?
It's about the music.
But also, we put it on the flyer.
Yeah, what the fuck? I know.
Yeah.
So also we wanted to, we want to be acknowledged by like the bigger DJs in the underground music scene. We found that important. So was also a lot of, tryouts a lot, and instead of just play music and be yourself and dress the way you want to, and embrace your feminine parts, and there was a research,
Like you had to kind of establish yourself as well.
yes.
And also, as you said earlier, that a lot of some of the jobs in the industry that women occupied were maybe more, as you said, oriented towards marketing and communication and
Yes.
like all that.
Yeah,
Different parts.
they didn't negotiate with agents, for bands,
Yeah.
or it
Which
was like,
doesn't mean that's less interesting or important, of course not, but that it's
No.
that's maybe you needed more
yeah,
research, like how to establish yourself within this, because there was maybe no that many role models or
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, in a way, now you're the role model,
hope.
which is why we also
I
invited
hope.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. No, I hope, and I want to also with my students. I'm a lecturer on the Art Academy in Rotterdam, Willem de Koning, and on the leisure and event management part. And I always want to inspire them, to make beautiful programs and to share beautiful things, and so. Hopefully I can do that.
It's beautiful because I can really see how all the parts of your life kind of connect together, and all the things that you've been interested in kind of all relate in the end. Also with the radio making and like, being a founder of Operator and being a teacher and your label, it all kind of connects.
Yeah, and it's all about sharing music.
Yeah.
Like through the Operator, through this platform, through a label,
Yeah.
or DJing. DJing is also curating. It's the same. I want to share beautiful music. Yeah.
So also kind of segueing to that, how did you kind of start being like making a radio? Like how did that happen? How does one do that even?
Well, we started Operator in 2017. From the top of my head. Is it 17 already?
6 years now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seven.
7 years. 7
April.
years actually.
April 2017. And I was back then a local promoter in Dordrecht, Below. It's the pub venue. And I still was in Hollywood and Vine, the DJ duo. And I knew the guys, Jorn, Jeff, Osman, and Patrick from the scene actually. Because Patrick back then worked at Bar. There was the club before Point, founded by Chris and Yeti. Shout out, and he was there, the programmer, so the local promoter there. So I knew him, and also I knew him from his label and this underground scene where Elke and I were playing Hollywood and Vine. We were in this scene. I knew Jeff from playing as well, from the DJ scene, and so and they had the idea already, and then they asked me because they needed a woman, of course.
True.
Yeah, of course, and also because I was already a programmer, and I know the scene, and they asked me, and if they told what they wanted to do, and I was immediately, I think, I immediately said yes, because I think it's a very good format, institution to share music, but also to be like a place for creatives to share everything, and also to build a community, working with volunteers. I think for me, because I already listened to NTS a lot, the London radio station, and I listened also to IFM and like a couple of radio stations before, and we were inspired by them as well too. There were a lot of talents in Rotterdam, so we felt like we have to do it as well, inspired by them, also feel like we can do it as well. We have a lot of talents in Rotterdam. We want to give them a place to share.
Beyond Amsterdam, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, sometimes I go like,
well, and
I ask this I answered this question a lot, and then suddenly I feel like, it has been a while again. So how did we start it again? So sorry, I'm all over the place.
No worries. There's the space for everything here.
Yeah. So it's from again, love of sharing music, creating a space for creatives to share their work. Music, but only talk shows. And I'm super proud that I am, that I'm a part of it, and in a way still a part of it because I have a radio show. I left, for the people who don't know, I left Operator a year ago, but still I feel very connected to the station. It's a family, and
absolutely. Even having you here, like, it was kind of like, of course, Ofra, first episode, did the women's series, founded Operator, like such an obvious choice as well. Yeah. But you did a beautiful job. Like, I think
Thank you.
Operator would definitely not be where it is without you. And I think you also brought such an interesting sound to Operator, which is the more like experimental, wavy sound.
Darker.
Which is still felt now as well.
Yeah.
Also through kind of, because Chris started working here. Through you, because she interned for you or something.
Well,
Chris
like
is one of the programmers, by the way.
Yeah, at some point it was too much, because I also worked at the academy and I DJ'd, and I felt like I need someone next to me that can help me, and also but I think more than just an intern, so or that sounds weird, not that I love interns. I love interns. Please, but you know what I mean. Like someone who can help me and assist like us, and also because I have to say, I'm getting older, and I'm not going to the club every weekend. Maybe not, because like I feel like because I'm older, I am
tired.
Yes.
I'm also tired.
Can I say that?
I'm 25 and I'm not going to the club as much.
I know, like, friends of mine who are like 40 plus and still have all the energy.
I can't do that.
So it's for me it was too much sometimes. So and also that's why I also miss sometimes like new artists, I can't keep up with it all the time. So also I think it's important to have a young, fresh colleague, next to me that also can teach me a lot, and I found that in Chris, and I saw her working at Wilde, and also I saw her online sharing music, and I find it super interesting, and I think she will be a good candidate for Operator, you know.
And she's doing great.
And hopefully she got the time, and she had, But then I left like a week later. So I said, sorry, you have to do it all by yourself now. But I trust, and I believe in you, and you can do it all by yourself. And she was, and she's doing an amazing job. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, because then you started making new steps in your life and starting up new projects.
Yeah. I started my label as well. So also like right after Operate, but I had it already in my mind, of course. Like I want to do something for myself. So it was a healthy choice to quit Operator and to put my energy in something new. Something that, because we run Operator with 5 people, and sometimes that's a lot as well. It's good, but also a lot. So a lot of decisions have to be made, and sometimes, it costs a lot of energy
a lot of negotiations.
A lot, maybe too much. Now it goes better, but but also
compromises and
so it's nice to work for yourself and make your own decisions based on your own feelings and intuition. That's what it is. And so I think even though because it's now I miss sometimes someone when I can share my thoughts with. And now I have to trust my own intuition all the time, like,
which is not a bad thing.
No, but it's scary though.
Yeah, it's very scary.
For me, it's scary, and I can be sometimes as well insecure about it. Like,
of course.
So that's but I'm happy with it.
I think you've had a very admirable kind of path so far. Also becoming a teacher. Yeah. When I found out you were a teacher, I was like, wow, like having Ofra as a teacher has to be so cool.
Oh, that's nice to hear. I can be very strict though.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wow, I want to see this.
I can be very strict. Yes, my students know that.
So you teach leisure, right?
Well, it's called major project, and it's about, I think I can explain it more as a concepting. So programming, and they have to do a project 2 times a year in groups, and it's about. The first time I always ask them what are your fascinations? What kind of disciplines do you like in art, and how can you share that into an idea, and an idea into a concept, and like. Different kind of projects comes out of it, and it's super nice, and I am helping them with it, starting from this fascination and this passion for something, and how to translate it into, like I did with Operator and with my label. And so speaking from my own experiences, I can help them, I can inspire them, and guide them through this process in this project called Major Project.
Major.
This is
I can also imagine that those kinds of courses and programs are rather new. Yeah. Or if they're not, then at least that new approach of having someone that has experience like you.
Yeah, that's why they asked me as well.
Yeah, that makes more sense to have someone like that as a teacher rather than someone that is maybe
theoretically inclined.
Yeah. And I'm also a student mentor, a student coach, student career coach, they call it.
Wow.
And I love that because I like to help them and guide them to their choices, and so.
And how was it to kind of move from performing and the music industry to being a teacher? I can imagine that it really changed.
Well, I still perform.
Yeah. Of course.
But otherwise, I couldn't. I could not do it. I think I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to because I'm still playing.
Yeah.
Not every week, but it's sometimes I play every week, and sometimes like 2 months I don't have any gigs.
Yeah.
So sometimes it happens. You know how it works, and but I have to do both because I have to. I don't know. I have to let it all out.
Yeah, you have to put it somewhere.
My energy,
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Is there maybe something that you like to play to us? Maybe something that you...
Well, because, you asked me maybe to play something that I still like to play, something from like an old dance classic or something.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And then I thought I want to play something from, Cosi Fanny Tutti. She was in Chris and Cozy and Trouble Gristle. So I would like to share a track called Beat Beat Beat. It's from 1987. Wait, I have to search for it now.
Take your time, no worries. We can fill in the blank.
Just make noises on the microphone.
Also very experimental. Enough.
Yeah. So I adore Chris and Cozy. I think, and also Throbbing Crystal is an amazing band from New York, and you have to. I think a lot of people know it, but
But it's a staple for a reason, you know. It's
But if you don't, please. She was like a key figure in that time in the 80s in New York. So as a female artist, here we go.
Let's go.
it back.
Thank you, Ofra.
Yes, amazing track.
Yeah, really, really cool track. We had a question in the chat I just saw from Anon3392 that says, what are some tips that Ofra can give for beginners in the scene, especially those with imposter syndrome?
Oof, yes, I have it as well. Still, I think a lot of people.
I mean, we read the question and the three of us was like, yeah.
We all have it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think what helps is doing a lot of radio shows at first. Just play, just go, and just do a lot of shows. And because it's for me, it was more safe. Also, I have to say, I did at first clubs and then radio shows, because before that we didn't have a radio station here, and NTS never booked me when I was young.
What the hell?
What the hell? I was the first DJ ever. The first female DJ. Why? No, but seriously, I think I saw it as well as a promoter here. You know, when you're playing on the radio, I saw people grow and felt, you know, here you can experiment a lot, but you can also do it in a club. And people always think they should, you know. It's also what I see a lot with new generation DJs. They are so afraid to make mistakes technically. They're like, oh, I didn't mix well, and I'm like, it's okay, you know. It's first of all, it's about the tracks that you like, that you want to share, and then just and you can practice. You know, you can also ask your local radio station maybe to practice, or you know, I did it as well with at a friend of mine. He owned a cafe and he had the CDGs, and then back then there were CDs, and I had like a folder with CDs, like a map, like
CDJs
a physical
1000.
Yes,
The grey ones.
And also tried with vinyl, but it was so hard. And also then I tried with CDGs with CDs, and I think you can. Unfortunately, maybe never get rid of it.
No,
because of it's but just play music. Try to do it a lot more often. Do it more often, and especially I think if you just started, I think a radio station is very helpful, and also then you will meet other DJs as well. You can talk about it, and you can share music, and and also I see it a lot at I notice it a lot with female DJs as well. Like when they're finished their sets, they're always, oh, I made a mistake. Oh no, it wasn't that good. Oh, a lot
downplaying.
And when guys are finished, they're like, yeah, it was a good set. Yeah, I know, it was great. And then high five,
share it on SoundCloud.
High five. Whoa. And I feel like, that's okay. You know, we also have to you know, be proud of ourselves and enjoy more. Yeah.
I do remember this. There was one day, I think I was finishing up at the Penguin store, and I went up here, and it was one of the days where you and Andrea then programmed those women's series Sunflower Stream Days. So for a few hours or throughout the entire day, it was only women playing back then. And I remember it was so nice because everybody seemed very much relaxed, and I guess that also made part of it, you know, that you knew that's the person before you and after you were going to be chill, and you had no like, oh, let me close the door because
it's going to judge me or judge my technical skills or something.
And that's also what you were, I think we're chatting outside or something, and you mentioned that exact same thing, like the aftermath, saying, like, reflecting back on your work. And here we're talking about DJing, but that's about anything else really.
And I'm still doing it, I have to admit. Like, if I felt like I fucked up a mix or something, I felt fuck. I didn't. It wasn't good. And then I'm like, it's okay. We're not robots, you know. It's like it's also nice sometimes to hear a mistake and then, you know, and then repair it. You know, it's like I like that.
Yeah. And I think what helped me as well, because Anna's not asking me, but I had my fair share of imposter syndrome, also being a beginner DJ like last year. It was really important for me to be very honest with what I was playing.
Yeah.
Because I also started playing in clubs, and I found myself just really fitting into the status quo of what was expected of me.
Yeah.
And then I felt like what I was playing was so disconnected from what I actually wanted to play, and then my imposter syndrome just grew so much bigger because I was so confused.
Oh shit. Yeah, and was that more about how you played or what you played?
I guess both, yeah. But I always played experimental, and what people always told me is with experimental, technically, you can be very free because it's kind of a given that the music will not be like, 4x4, and there are no strict rules. So that was already quite liberating. But then it was very much like what was expected from me as a young female DJ that was starting to be quite successful, and kind of you have to keep that ball rolling, you know. And at some point I was like, fuck this shit, I don't want to play in clubs anymore. I want to play for myself. There are a lot of
festivals and like places where you can actually play experimental music and people like it, and you don't have to play 150 BPM to like it or to dance. Sometimes I play like it's about intensity. It's about, I don't know,
emotion, expression.
Yeah, I like it. I always like to experiment with BPMs as well. Yeah, and to see what happens. Yeah, and never doubt the tracks that you are sharing. You know, it's you want to share, you love it, and then people will feel it as well. And and if they're up for it, and if they're not, then it's not the place for them. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah. I had this a lot of times where I would play a track and my friend would be like on the corner of the booth, like, is this too weird? Is this too like off-putting? And it's like, whatever, you know, like if you want to be known for what you do, then you should just play it and not be ashamed.
Never.
Because otherwise you're going to be booked for something that you're not.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, you're imposter syndrome with that.
Yeah. No,
Crazy.
No, that's the one thing for me. It was always like, I think the way I mix or something, that it's not good enough, or I was sometimes insecure about that, and still sometimes. And then I'm like, shut up, Ofra, just stop it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Also enjoy. Also, I have it sometimes, and then it takes over my set, and then I didn't even enjoy it. So please don't do that.
Remember
if you feel
when
it,
you started. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's really good advice.
Yeah, so try to really enjoy it and stand behind the tracks that you choose, that you pick because you like it, and find the nice of the clubs that fits you. You feel safe to play whatever what you want to play.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's actually a nice segue to how do you select tracks, and what kind of tracks speak to you, and how does this process work, because it's very personal for a lot of people.
As a DJ or as a label manager, or
we can do one and then the other.
Well, as a DJ, I search a lot at Bandcamp, really a lot, but also a lot. I listen to a lot of mixes from other DJs that I feel then I can be inspired by playing. Yeah, sometimes they play like an artist that I didn't play for a while, and then they released a new album, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this artist. And it's always nice to play a lot of to listen to a lot of SoundCloud mixes, or Mixcloud mixes, or
any other cloud mixes.
Other cloud mixes. I don't know. I'm too old. I don't know anymore.
TikTok mixes.
Are they? TikTok mixes. Yeah. Well, well, okay, YouTube.
Yeah.
No, for real. Sometimes I am digging into YouTube to find like old, like cold wave.
That's true.
It's a gold mine.
Yeah,
I love it. And then like this classics collections, compilations, old compilations on YouTube. That's super nice. But
wonder who those people are, you know, that they
Yeah.
spend their days just posting things that you can't find anywhere else. It's just
a
like,
lot of
okay.
French cold wave bands are on. You can find on
Yeah.
YouTube. But also, of course, I dig a lot. I buy a lot of records. Go to a lot of record shops. I always look at the websites what is released. I follow a lot of labels on Instagram. So yes, that's I think. But for the and then and on Bandcamp a lot as well. I'm also luckily. A lot of DJs also share their music with me, new producers, and I'm very, very happy with that. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite record stores, if you could mention some?
Now at the time I really like 3345
the
in
best.
The Hague.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of different, because what I earlier told that I am half punk rock era rock. I feel like this Guns N' Roses rock. No, that's not what it is. No, I like a very early punk music that I like to alternative music, to experimental, but also like new beat that I like. I love new Belgium new beat music. They have everything, and secondhand new releases. I think it's a good mix.
Yeah.
Of records that I really where I'm in for it, you know.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. I agree with you on that
so
one. Yeah.
that's a tip.
Yeah.
Also, like they did not shy with bringing in live recordings as well. I
Yeah.
got nice things from Cabaret Voltaire, for example, like just things that just recorded from concerts.
Yeah, and also they have very nice in stores as well.
Yeah.
Also, a couple of times.
The circle is round.
And it's not for people in Rotterdam. It's like 15 minutes by train. It's not a lot. So so nice people work there. Very
and
passionate people.
Gunnar is lovely, who's the owner.
Yeah. And Alina, my friend. Shout out.
Cute. Yeah. So you just talked about how you dig for music, like your own DJing.
Yeah.
How does it work for your label?
Oh yeah. Well, like people ask me a lot, like, what kind of label do you have? And I feel like what kind of label? Music? Yeah, it's like, is it a dance floor? Is it listening? And I'm like, whatever I like. So it's not a particularly like a one genre that I embrace. It's more than that. I think things that I like, that I find beautiful, and like that. I think I was in the beginning last year when I started Yarrow Ballet. It was that's the name of my label.
By the way,
it's I think when I started, I was more focused on listening music. So then I released Dim Garden, beautiful album called Soleil Tartare. You can see it now if you're watching.
If you're watching, we're holding it to the camera.
You can, of course, listen to it, or you can check out on my Instagram, Bandcamp, or Clone. And 3345 also. But and now I feel like, because I and the release after Soleil Tartare, I released a VA with 10 different artists, and it was also more focused on listening. And now I'm releasing another VA, volume 2. I think it feels like this VA feels like a festival to me. It's like I'm embracing different sounds. It's all a bit, of course, wavy, EBM-y, experimental, because that's the sound that I
gravitate to.
I think people know that as well.
Yeah.
But there's also one track of Charlie Leona. She's from Berlin, and that's more Italo-ish, synth wavy. So it's more danceable. So so I'm not. I always feel like I can't say it's only for the club or it's only for listening. You can also play listening music in the club. We just talked about it.
Yeah, so true. Yeah.
So why isn't it the club music if it's only like
Danceable.
100 BPM, is it then? So no, you can do that as well. So so and I find it through Bandcamp, to Instagram, to my friends who are also, a lot of my friends are in the music industry. So I'm thankful that through them I can also meet beautiful artists and beautiful like new artists that I never heard of, and I find it important to work with artists not only established but also who are like now in the beginning of their career, or I find it important to mix that in a release also to yeah.
Should we listen to something from Yarrow Ballet?
Yeah. Oh yes. I have a lot. I have to choose. Yeah, it's like Kill Your Darlings, huh?
Yeah.
I think the track from Dissemblance, she's from Paris, Mathilde, and I love this track so much. And wait, I have to search for it again while talking. She released before that she released a beautiful album on Lice Records, and I discovered her. I met her in Paris, and she became also a good friend of mine, and I really love her music. So and I booked her for September here in Roodkapje for a new Yarrow Ballet label
lovely.
night. So 14th of September, people.
Sneaky promo.
Sneaky promo. Yes. Here we go.
Souffle au cœur.
So we also just generally asked Ofra to bring some music that she loves, some music from Yarbale, but also maybe some recent releases that stood out to you.
Yeah, well, I think I want to share Sunfair with you. Eyal Dennis, she's from Istanbul. I think she's based in Hamburg now. Correct me if I'm wrong, sorry. But yeah, she released already like 2 years ago on Dark Entries, an amazing album. And from that I was following her, and also maybe she will release on my second tape as well. Hopefully she does. She's very busy, so we have to see if we can do it this year. But yeah, I really love what she's making. She makes also very experimental music, but also this, and that's why I like her so much. It's always beautiful. I say beautiful a lot, also in my own radio shows.
That's
it's
great.
Like,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's a great way
I
to
can't find another
music.
word
Yeah.
for what I want to express about it. You know? So I really want to share that with you, and especially this song. I really love. The album called Octopus, and it was released on Dark Entries, and this is a wake up song.
Put it in a table, put it in behind me. You can't change anything. Put it in a somewhere I could see it. You
Yeah, beautiful, huh?
So beautiful. Wow, I'm
Sunfair.
amazed. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Or like 3 minutes left or
Yeah.
something.
And since we asked Ofra to bring so much music, I think we'll just list some faves right now because there's
Yeah.
just no time.
There's no
unfortunately.
time. No, I want to point out
Pass quickly.
there are a lot of great female Flinta artists, I have to say, and I'm also always searching for them, and there's a lot. Like, there's so many. So I want to point out like that. I just wrote a list before I came.
But that's
like,
amazing. That's
like a small. I want to do like a small shout out. Like you have to check a couple of people out, but also pointing out that also like back in the time, you know, if you watch Sisters with Transistors, you know, there were a lot of producers back then as well. Maybe not like dance floor producers. There was very dominated by male.
Yeah.
It was very dominated by male producers. But there were a lot of amazing producers and musicians, female. So I want to point that out. But also now, like you have artists like Nor Here Nor There, Glaring, Dissemblance that I just shared with you. Laura Krieg, Jennifer Touch, No Romance, Sunfair, Laura Dennis. Of course, also people like Alberta Balsam from Rotterdam, you know.
Love her.
Yeah, and of course my own Dim Garden that I released, and she's amazing, and there are a lot. So I want to say to all the promoters in clubs, just check them out.
Also, the list will be posted on Instagram. So
nice.
If you need, I'm gonna ask you to send it to us. Yeah.
I will.
So anything we've played or mentioned, we'll try to post it as much as possible on our page, operator.sunflowers, plural.
Yeah.
Give a follow.
And we just want to thank Ofra for being our first guest.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
I have to say, a bit nervous. So.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Thank you. So happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so
much. It
was
was very inspiring.
It went very well as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And make sure to follow Yara Ballet. Follow Ofra if you don't. Her projects are amazing. And keep an eye out for the next VA because I know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much.
Save 14th of September, right?
Yeah, come on.
Roodkapje.
Roodkapje, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.